Words have power. They can uplift and inspire. They can also wound and oppress. The N-word carries a heavy weight. It is a word soaked in centuries of pain, a stark reminder of America's brutal history of slavery and segregation. In this short documentary, we'll delve into the origins of this word. It will trace its transformation from a tool of dehumanization to its casual, almost commonplace usage today. We must confront the normalization of this word. We must understand its impact and work towards a future where language is used to unite, not divide. This is not just about a word. It's about the legacy of racism that it represents. It's about acknowledging the pain it continues to inflict on black communities. No matter how kind-hearted someone is, an anti-black racist will still see them as subhuman because of their skin color. Racism makes no sense. Logically trace history far enough, and all of humanity shares the same origins. Believing in white supremacy means embracing the exclusion and harm inflicted upon non-white people and their families. This is what makes it so dangerous. There are those who refuse to see the horror of slavery and colonization, eras where black people were brutalized, tortured, assaulted, and murdered. These are chapters of history the Western world should have long moved away from. Yet the wounds they left are still felt. This is a call for understanding, critical thinking, and ultimately for change. The N-word's origins are deeply rooted in the transatlantic slave trade. It was a word used by slave owners to strip Africans of their humanity, to reduce them to mere property. It was a tool of control, a constant reminder of their subjugated status. This dehumanization continued long after slavery was abolished. The word echoed through the Jim Crow era, used to enforce segregation and justify violence against black Americans. It was a weapon wielded by white supremacists. It was used to intimidate, to terrorize, and to maintain a system of racial hierarchy. This history is not a distant past. It's a scar on history, a painful reminder of how cruel the world can become when unchecked. In the late 20th century, the N-word found a new life, particularly within hip-hop culture. Some argue that its use within this context is an act of reclaiming the word, of stripping it of its power by using it as a term of endearment. However, this argument is completely illogical, however it's said or spelt. While the intention may be to reappropriate the word, its casual use, particularly by those outside the black community, risks normalizing and desensitizing its history. This casual use ignores the pain it evokes and perpetuates its use as a tool of division. Due to its repeated use and glamorization in hip-hop culture, reaching a consensus on the N-word within the black community remains an extremely difficult challenge, one that reflects deeper struggles over language and identity. A word unequally weaponized, double standards, and casual racism. The consequences of normalizing the N-word are far-reaching. It creates a dangerous double standard. While racial slurs are widely condemned in other communities, the N-word often receives a more lenient response, particularly when used in certain contexts. This leniency minimizes the very real harm it causes. This normalization is evident in the disparities in punishment for racist incidents. Whether in sports, social media, or everyday life, the use of the N-word often does not carry the same weight as other forms of discrimination. This sends a dangerous message, implying that racism against black people is more acceptable, less harmful. If the expectation is that the N-word should no longer be used by any community, then accountability must also begin within black communities themselves. It should never have become a casual term when the meaning has such deep, dark roots and can cause violence, still to this day. Youth at the forefront, reclaiming respect in language. The responsibility to dismantle the power of the N-word lies within all of us, but it must be embedded in younger generations to inspire lasting change. They are the ones who will inherit the future. They have the power to shape societal norms and redefine what is acceptable. This change begins with education. Young people must grasp the deep history of the word, the pain it carries, and its lasting impact, visible in the racial culture clashes we see today. They must recognize that language is not neutral. It is a powerful tool that shapes perceptions and influences behavior. Breaking the chains of language towards a future free from hate. While harsh words will always exist, they should never be used to discriminate against someone based on their identity. We've come a long way from the days of Jim Crow and segregation, but we can be so much better by eliminating the N-word as we have done for other racial slurs. This word should be confined to history books, understood to comprehend the past but never used to belittle others. Enforcing strict punishments for using the word will benefit the Black community in fostering greater unity and pride, shifting language towards empowerment rather than division, and remove the ambiguity of whether other races should say it or not. The journey towards a future free from racism will be long and arduous. However, removing the N-word from everyday language is the first step, a necessary step if we truly believe in unity and a world free from racism. We must break the chains of language and build a world where respect, equality, and human dignity prevail. The N-word must remain in history as a lesson, not as a word spoken in the present.